What makes you roll your eyes every time you hear it? This isn't just a company, it's a family. F right off. This is code for we're going to ask you to do some bullshit that is wildly outside the scope of what you were hired for. Anything related to job hunting, but especially just walk right on in there wearing a suit, ask to speak to a manager, give them a firm handshake, your resume, and ask when you can start. Lol, I really hate that one. Especially when I have to explain. Nobody but takes resumes or do pull-up interviews anymore. They send me out the door and to my computer. I have a friend who always throws in little lies to his stories to make himself sound cooler. It's an automatic eye roll whenever he starts telling one. I had a regular customer who always told big fish stories like that. We started to write down every wilderness story he'd come up, and man, after 3 or 4 years this guy's life turned into the most insane Greek epic you could imagine. He could withstand G-forces and car accidents that would turn any mortal into hamburger. He could wrestle pit bulls with his bare hands. He fought police and got them to apologize. He saved babies from burning buildings. He personally slapped a baseball legend. He arm wrestled Ted Nugent and won. He could drink a bottle of Everclear in one evening and wake up fine the next morning. He fought in at least 10 wars. He could speak a dozen languages. He has fathered over 100 children. He meets members of international royalty on holiday. He wins tens of thousands of dollars at the casino every other week. He was a firefighter. He was a policeman. He was a priest. He shacked up with a nun. He personally knew a ghost. He had the governor on speed dial. He's close friends with the mayor. He ran over another mayor with his car. He knew Paul McCartney. He gave Paul McCartney the idea to one of his most famous songs. He once spent 3 whole days in a sauna to cure himself of a lethal disease. He traveled across Asia on a motorcycle to stop a genocide. He could dunk on pro basketball players in his prime. He could negate the effects of a heroin or meth overdose by willpower alone. He could take pepper spray to the face and not even wince. He worked for NASA. He even disagreed that polar bears hunt humans because he befriended one in Alaska and had it as a friendly little pet that he kept on his porch to scare away house invaders. I can't imagine there being even a nugget of truth anywhere in there, but just the thought of all of that being canon in a parallel universe was endlessly amusing to us. Edit. My friend just reminded me that he said he once went to Dracula's castle in Transylvania and swore it was 100% haunted, but he wasn't afraid of the ghosts. The ghosts were afraid of him. Major news networks saying this is breaking news. It used to be that they reserve that phrase for actual breaking news. Now they use it for even the most mundane stories. Watching the Super Tuesday results. Breaking news. Polls just closed in these states. We will have results shortly. So the breaking news was that there might be breaking news soon. People that claim that ingesting something will detox you. Your kidneys and liver already do that. For free. No need to waste money on some stupid internet claim. In Germany, there is a popular joke that my hometown doesn't exist. Lots of people know this joke, and when I'm in other regions, everyone will make that joke when I tell them where I'm from. It got really annoying after the first few times. When people think they're obligated to hate one thing when they like the other. Pepsi Coca. Xbox PS. Hip Hop Rock. Trek Wars. You can like both and it's fine. Edit. Oh, and don't forget iOS and Android and OS X and Windows. People who think being moody and brag that they're antisocial and hate everybody like it is a really cool and interesting personality trait. As someone who is kinda moody and antisocial and mildly grumpy, it legitimately sucks and should not be emulated if at all possible. This is real music. Unlike this and that. They don't make music like this anymore. Who is listening in 2020? I was born in the wrong generation. Just shut up and enjoy the damn song for fuck's sake. talked about eternal love among teens. I'm 15 and I'm very ashamed. My brother, 12, had to make a big deal that he got a girlfriend before I had. I was 15 when I had my first girlfriend. I don't think they even lasted a month because while they had gone to the same school last year we had to move and my brother changed schools and his communication with her was limited because he doesn't have a phone and limited internet time. That's not a relationship, just an infatuation. He also tried to say they were like Romeo and Juliet. He doesn't know their story. Anytime someone talks about astrology in a realistic light, it's almost always people who grew up really religious, lost their faith, and are trying to make sense of why people do things. I can understand the desire, but people don't do things because OMG, she's such a Leo. I just need to talk to him one more time so I can have closure. I've got a funny I need closure story. My neighbor was seeing an escort for a while that, as it turns out, I went to high school with. Anyways, she stopped responding to him out of nowhere, so he blew up her phone for a month saying stuff about how he's gonna leak her nudes and whatnot, just trying to get a response from her. He told me he just wanted to make sure she's okay and not in jail or something and for some closure. Well, turns out she didn't pay her bill and her phone was just shut off. The entire time he's telling me about it, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Take a effing hint. You're a grown ass man paying a girl for sex who is now not responding. Let it the F go. It was hard in the beginning. I had to work and fail so many times to reach the point I am now, said by someone who was born in money, loaned a couple millions from his dad to start a business, failed, got bailed by his dad and now works in the company he knows he'll inherit. Yeah buddy, I bet it was real hard. And this can be applied to surprisingly many people. I hate that LMAO. People wanna seem like they got it hard. I hear a lot of celeb children siblings say it's harder for them to be an actor because they have to prove themselves, maybe prove themselves amongst other children with high status parents, but it's so damn delusional to say. At least they had a really close chances and connections. The low-income person who lives in the middle of nowhere in Montana that wants to act in Hollywood has to truly prove themselves. With all adversity in front of them and no family money to fall back on. I deliver catering, and every time I step onto an elevator with a cart full of food I get one of the following. Is that for me? You shouldn't have. Looks like someone's having a party. Let's follow this guy, he's got the food. At least if the elevator breaks down we've got lunch. I'm the official food tester, I'll have to inspect those sandwiches. Oh, you can just bring that to my office. I've been hearing each of these multiple times a day for years, so I don't even bother to respond because it's basically background noise to me at this point. The real fun begins when people get angry and start insulting me because I don't burst into hysterics at the sound of their shitty, unoriginal jokes.